Well, it's Tuesday, and we're taking a look around at the forest. Let's see what we got over here. It's not going to be easy. I have a buddy with me. He's walking behind me. I just can never go anywhere like this without a buddy. And always have to have permission from mommies and daddies. But I am going on a forest walk. Now, there's a lot of bugs out here. I mean, I know the different animals that live in their habitats, they eat bugs, but I don't eat bugs, so I have to wear this special mosquito head net just to keep those bugs out of the way. And if I catch a couple bugs, I brought my handy dandy net just in case. Animals that live in a forest habitat, they actually really like having trees around. These trees, I mean, they're great for climbing. They're great for hiding from predators that might be trying to get you. Let me show you what I'm walking in here. And they also might have some food on the trees, growing from the trees. But sometimes the food only grows at the top. So these animals have to get to that top of that tree. Okay, so now in these forests, I don't know if we're gonna see any animals today, but the things that live in here, I know I've seen a possum in here. One day I was raking leaves during the day, and they sleep during the day, so he poked his head out, and I saw him look at me, and I just dropped the rake and ran because I didn't want to try to make friends or something. I don't know if that's a dangerous animal. So I let the possum be, but believe it or not, the possum's a really wonderful animal to have. There's these bad insects called ticks. And I know that a possum, I read somewhere, they can eat hundreds of ticks each year. So that's less ticks that are going to go on me and my family. But yeah, you're going to see big trees like this. This is an oak tree. Let's take a look at the top. Yeah, very big tree. Lots of leaves on the ground and sticks. Now, if you're some kind of animal and you're looking for a place to stay, you might actually want to, move this away, throw the stuff underneath it. Maybe just go ahead and build some kind of home with sticks and get more and more. And there's actually an animal I saw that made a home like this, and I'm going to show you. He just started putting all these things on top. I don't know if we're going to find them. So what other kind of animals can we find in a forest? Well, I know besides raccoons and possum, there might be mice or rats. There could be snakes. I saw a garter snake in my backyard once, and he was in a big pile of sticks and leaves, and I guess that's what they like. So they eat bugs too. And see all these trees that just fell down, and these broken branches, it's not garbage. This can be used for an animal to help them build a special habitat. These habitats are very important. And we talked about some of the things that an animal has to get in its habitat. And you know what happens if an animal doesn't get something it needs in its habitat? Well, it has a choice. It could either go to another habitat, or it could look even harder to find something that they need. So if they can't see something they need in their habitat, they either got to look harder or they have to leave. Because if they do nothing, that's the worst choice. Then they can get sick, or then they could even die. So we don't want that happening to animals. Being very careful too, because you see something like this, these are very, very pokey thorns. So you got to be super careful of any kind of things. There's not really a big trail here, and my dogs like to walk back here, and they're always smelling stuff. So I know there's a lot of animals back here. And let's see what we have coming up ahead. And the Brain Pop video that you'll be watching today is called Deciduous Forest. Now, we don't have to get too worked up about the term deciduous, but I think that if we just focus on the forest habitat, that's what we're really going to be focusing on. And just know the forest habitat is filled with lots of leaves and trees and plants and animals. I walked past a whole bunch, but I wanted to show you the shelter that I think either a possum or a raccoon made. It looks like this. Where is it? Oh, here it is. There's all different things in here. There's a half-chewed bone. There's even a baseball in the middle. But you're going to notice there's probably going to be a little hole around here as an entranceway, but I'm not going to get too close. You know, you always have to keep a lot of personal space if you don't know who lives there, what kind of animal it is. And definitely check with your parents if you're going to be taking a walk like this. Hiking in the woods is a really wonderful thing to do. Oh, wow, what's this? This is a living thing in the forest. Let's take a look at a closer look. And see this right here? Ow! Yeah, they're a little pokey. It's almost like it's a pine tree. And a pine tree, it smells really nice. And it's a plant. Oh, wow, who's that living thing? Uh-oh. That's my neighbor's dog. I don't know how friendly he is. But anyway, a pine tree is one of the living things in the forest. Oh, and here's some more green plants. These green plants are everywhere. Well, that's because the forest habitat is filled with animals and plants all over the place. And this is probably my most fun video to make because I really like hiking and I like going for walks and I like looking at things like trees and branches and going camping. You know, that's really exciting for me. Well, there's something else. I don't know what that is. It's a new plant. Now, this time of year in the spring, all these plants start growing and all the bears come out of their hibernation. I have no bears where I live, but a very close friend of mine named Don, he had a black bear in his backyard once, and he lives all the way up in New York, all the way up north. And, well, in the wintertime they're not around, but I know in the springtime sometimes they come out of their caves and their habitats to eat and find food. Well, here we are. And it's springtime, so there's going to be different kinds of food starting to grow on the branches. There's going to be different types of things to eat, and there's also going to be lots and lots of little babies being born. And if an animal can't have babies where it lives, it's going to have to find a different habitat. You see, babies are perfect when they're born. It's perfect when they're born in the spring because it's nice and warm out. If you gotta have a bunch of babies in the middle of a cold winter, holy goodness, that's gonna be very hard to raise those babies. They're very, very small, and they need lots of warm stuff. They don't like being cold, so babies need food, and mommies and daddies can find the food to give to the babies in the spring. So it's a really wonderful time to come out in the spring. And that's about it for me. I'm signing off. It's starting to get a little dark too. So I'm gonna go back back home, and I'll take off this darn mosquito head net. But let me tell you, this thing, it kept all the insects away from my face, so it was actually good protection for a human like me. Or, you know, they call me a human, or I have hair and I was born, I had milk from my mother. A mammal. This is what mammals do, okay? Because I'm a mammal. All right, well. Oh, do you remember when we were talking about what plants make last week? And I said the rubber tree? Well, here's one example right here, and I'm going to end on this note. Looks like a junky old tire, but you know, that tire probably had a lot of good use on a car or some type of vehicle, and it really helped somebody out in a big way. Well, I'm signing off now, and I gotta tell you, I like the forest. It's one of my favorite places. See you next time.